in their ears. This is prepared always to make a general invitation. While the inner lamp of jewels is still alight, hasten to trim its wick and provide it with oil. But he is in accord with the teachers who refuse to discuss the cult with all and sundry. Summon horses to a place other than where grass is to be found, and they will question it, no matter what it is. The Sufis oppose the pure intellectuals and scholastic philosophers partly because they believe that such training of the mind is obsessive, and one-track thinking is bad for that mind, and for all other minds as well. Equally, all those who think that all that matters is intuition or asceticism are strongly combated by Sufic teaching. Rumi insists upon the balance of all the faculties. The union of mind and intuition which brings about illumination and the development which the Sufis seek is based upon love, always love. This insistent theme of Rumi is nowhere better expressed than in his writings, unless it be within the actual walls of a Sufi school. Just as intellectualism works with palpable materials, Sufism works with both perceptible and inner ones. Where science and scholasticism ever narrow their scope to take in smaller and smaller areas of study, Sufism continues to embrace every evidence of the great underlying truth, wherever it may be found. This power of assimilation and ability to invoke symbolism, story, and thought from the underground Sufic current has caused the outward commentators, even in the East, great excitement and new pastimes. They track down the origins of a story in India, an idea in Greece, an exercise among shamans. These elements they bear back delightedly to their desks, eventually to provide ammunition in the struggle in which their opponents are only each other. The unique atmosphere of Sufi schools is found in the Mathnavi and Fihi Mafihi, but many externalists consider they are confusing, chaotic, and loosely written. True, both books are partially guides which have to be used in conjunction with actual Sufic teaching and practice, work, thought, life, and art. But even one commentator who accepted the reality of this atmosphere as deliberately created, and who repeated the Sufi account of this in print, showed himself in personal contact to be rather bewildered by the whole thing. Still, it must be said that he considered himself to be a Sufi, although not admitted by any Sufic method. Under the influence of such men, the Western study of Sufism, now in a period of tremendous upsurge, has become a little more Sufic, although it still has a very long way to go. The intellectual Sufi is the latest fad in the West. Sufism, of course, has a technical terminology all its own, and Rumi's verses teem with familiar and special varieties of initiatory terms. He describes, for instance, in his third great book, the Divan of Shams of Tabriz, some of the concepts of mind and activities which are projected within a secret meeting of dervishes. Couched in rhapsodic verse, the teachings of Sufi being in thought and action are conveyed by a method especially devised for their projection. Joy